is it going, lads and lassies? My name is Shady Lad, and welcome back to another Shady video. It has been quite a while, hasn't it? I haven't really made a lot of talking videos as of recently, and summer has started. Well, more like it's gotten quite a little bit into summer already, but my dad has stayed home a little bit, so I haven't been able to make some videos, and of course, my sister moved in, and she's in the back right now, actually, but it's a nice quiet atmosphere and I can actually make something. Yay! I do have quite a few ideas to make, and there's just not a lot of time to do it. And however, there is some stuff that I do want to touch up on, like the new Square Enix E3 stuff that came out. Also, big thank you to my editor Willen for giving me this awesome microphone and this awesome headset. They are both amazing and they work brilliantly. Hopefully this works very well, because for me it only works in one ear, but I know my editor will do his magic. And this actually works a lot better than the microphone on my headset. It's just, I just have to hold it most of the time. But E3 came and went, and there is quite a few things that Square Enix had to show for us, and I'm going to touch up on a few of them. However, there's things like Final Fantasy up there, and I'll touch on that when we get to it. But let us start off with Kingdom Hearts 3's Remind DLC that's coming to the game when sometime soon, I believe. But let's just hop right into it. Also, wait, there are going to be spoilers for Final Fantasy XIV and Kingdom Hearts 3. If you haven't completed the games, then do that. You should probably do that. But let's go ahead and jump into it. Code Glories of Darkness. There's young Xehanort there. It's useful. I told ya. That's probably Lushu. So how'd it go? The world tour. In an awful way, I realized just how necessary I am. Oh! You can play as Riku for the third time? You can play Aqua twice? Playable character? Wait, no, hold up, back that up, hold up, you can... Wait! Oh my god, he's so fast! Look at him go! Oh my lord! Roxas is a playable character now! Actually, you know what? There were a lot of people who actually wanted to play Roxas as a playable character, me being one of them, but oh my god, he's so fast! And I can see that this might be like a drive form. It looks like a drive form. Like this looks like final form, except he's holding Oathkeeper. So maybe if he switches to Oathkeeper, it's like, I'm not sure. Is it also for Oblivion? Oh. Zigbar, who are you? He threw the card at him. A card. Alright. It doesn't make a difference to me anyway. I'll just keep playing dumb. The question is, who are you, Luxord? Coming this winter. Alright, so there's quite a few things that are being touched on just a little bit. I'm not sure what to exactly say about the first half. Oh, yikes! Let's go back. But, let's see. Coat wards off darkness. So this might either be the Master of Masters or Lushu. Probably the Master of Masters. And young Xehanort is talking to said Master of Masters. Maybe? Because the Master of Masters is supposed to be where Sora woke up, right? It's just my assumptions. But here, Luxord in Kingdom Hearts 3 was picked out by Xemnas to be one of the ancient Keybladers in the app game. Lushu here, this is Lushu, which was confirmed in Kingdom Hearts 3. And Luxord, I think, is also from the app. An ancient history, same as Larxene and Marluxia, because they, like, and Ventus, they all existed long, long, long ago. So that might be what he is hinting at. So we're gonna get more story, and we're also gonna get more gameplay. This means I'm never going to leave the part where Roxas shows up, probably. I'm never going to leave. And from what I saw, let's go back a little bit. Instead of Sora, Roxas, and Xion, it's Axel, Xion, and Roxas. Except Axel has his Keyblade. So that means maybe it just came back. Maybe he just called it back somehow. Or they're probably gonna have maybe fix something, or he just summons it back, who knows. But I would love to see Axel in action, and I would love to play Roxas again, that's for sure. But that was the Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind trailer, and I'm super excited. Let's hop into Final Fantasy VII. Now, huge disclaimer, I've never played any of the Final Fantasy games except for 14, 13, and 3. And I've also seen some of the movies, so I wasn't raised on Final Fantasy. My dad isn't a huge fan of Final Fantasy. There's a huge thing. There's a lot of games I actually haven't played. I just happened to get obsessed with Kingdom Hearts, and now I'm here. But I've always known that Final Fantasy VII was one of the most popular games in the Final Fantasy franchise. I also have 15. Forgot to say that. And I've always loved Cloud, even as a kid, even though I didn't know where he came from. So this is going to fill my Final Fantasy 7 experience. I never played the older game, but this will fill it probably. But let's just jump right into the trailer. She's beautiful. It looks so good too. Man, they always look goddamn gorgeous in these trailers and the games themselves. A bit loud. Cloud.
These sewer rats appear to call themselves Avalanche, sir.
You can
Epic.
for saving my life. You think he's a keeper?
Oh my god. Y'all gotta look at the bigger picture here. Nothing worth fighting for was ever won without sacrifice.
Help me! Arlene.
Have you been a good girl?
I heard you're having second thoughts.
I know we have to think big if we're going to make a difference. But not like this. I feel trapped. My turn.
Yeah, Tifa.
Get going.
You're not real.
There he is.
You're...
Cloud, I have a favor to ask of you. Run away. You have to leave. You have to live.
You bastard!
The iconic duo.
Hold on to that hatred.
And there's a bunch of pre-orders at the end. Yeah, oh, it looks so good. Alright, so again, I never played Final Fantasy VII or a lot of the Final Fantasies to begin with, but I've seen the movies and I know quite a bit as it is, even though I don't know the exact plot of Final Fantasy VII. I can say I have seen a few things that I can take similar to Final Fantasy 15. I have a few friends that say that it is basically like a Final Fantasy 15 but better. But from what I could see is that it is a free roam game. You can explore just like Final Fantasy 15. There are things to see. And from what I could tell, I love that she is able to fight. From what I could see all throughout, it is beautiful. It is really beautiful. Throughout the portion here is that you can switch between the characters. Or they do a spell or a certain command and you look over at them for a little bit. From what I can tell, you can switch between the characters, similar to Final Fantasy 13. I had asked my friend if it was more like a Final Fantasy 15 fighting style, and he was like, "No." So I'm getting a mix of both Final Fantasy 15 and 13. And I'm really happy that you're able to switch between the characters because Tifa is a badass, and a lot of people love Aerith. Not enough people give love to my girl Yuffie. That's my girl. She's Yuffie. But being able to see Sephiroth and Cloud do their thing, that'll be really fun to see. But I was hyped for the game ever since the remake was even announced to begin with. So I'm really excited. I'm just going to be really excited to play my boy Cloud. But I think the next one I had up was still Final Fantasy VII, but it's just a gameplay reveal demo. So let's take a look.
Final Fantasy VII Remake features a hybrid gameplay system that merges real-time action with strategic command-based combat. For starters, each press of the square button is a swing of Cloud's Buster Sword. Cloud attacks, dodges, and blocks all in real time. His standard attacks do some damage, but they barely scratch the surface of Cloud's true potential. Succeeding on the battlefield requires much more than just hacking and slashing. Cloud needs to be tactical. He needs ATB. 2 ATB bars are displayed in the lower right. These fill up slowly over time, but fill much faster as Cloud lands standard attacks. Once an ATB bar is full, you can enter tactical mode, where time slows to a crawl and you have the opportunity to choose actions from the command menu. Katase-san, I've had the pleasure of seeing quite a bit of the game, but tactical mode never gets old for me. I could just sit here all day long and watch this beautiful slow motion action.
観客の皆さんはね、おそらくね、他の部分ももう少し見たいのではないかと思いますが、皆さんいかがでしょう?
I think the audience would like to see more. Isn't that right, everyone?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Good point. Good point.
Yeah?
Well, once in tactical mode, you can choose to perform various abilities, such as Cloud's Braver attack. Using an item in battle will deplete an ATB charge, and if Cloud has the right materia equipped and enough MP, he can use
You can put on materia.
ATB charges to cast spells. Of course, this being a remake, we're sure to see some familiar faces. With the use of his iconic gun arm, Barret is able to target enemies at a distance. Barret's standard attacks generate ATB charges similar to Cloud, but his abilities are entirely different. Switching between characters in combat is done with a single button press, which makes rotating party members a snap. Speaking of other party members, Katase-san, when are we going to see Tifa in action?
Yeah. More than anything, everyone is so excited to see Tifa. More than anything. Tifa's everybody's girl. Maybe soon.
Characters will continue to fight even when you're not controlling them directly, but it's up to you to choose how and when ATB charges are used. You can maximize your effectiveness by switching between characters or issuing commands to characters with full ATB bars. Every enemy has a focus gauge that fills up as you do damage. When the gauge is full, the enemy becomes staggered, and you'll deal bonus damage.
Stagger.
Tactical mode evokes the command selections from the original Final Fantasy VII and allows players to enjoy battle while taking the time to think strategically. For players who prefer fast-paced action, abilities and spells can be bound to shortcuts for immediate execution.
I love how in the game they are reaching out to both people who want to take time and think strategically, but also the people who want to just go through everything. Like they said that it's not exactly a hack and slash, but there's going to be hack and slashers who play the game, and they're reaching out to both those kinds of people.
Shortcuts make combat extremely dynamic, but the choice of using them is entirely up to you. Right, Katase-san?
そうですね、プレイスタイルに合わせて楽しめるゲームになっておりますので、ぜひご期待ください。
That's right. The game has been made so that you can choose how to play. I hope players get excited about this.
Well, that's a brief introduction to combat in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and we look forward to showing you a whole lot more in the coming months. For now, let's see how Cloud and Barrett do against a more formidable foe.
Hell yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go quiet for this one.
You double-crossing!
What in the hell?
Hey, how the hell do we fight this thing?
It's got reinforced armor plating, with the internals to be overloaded. Lightning magic.
No other option, huh? Shit. Should I be worried?
Did Cloud just cuss? Yeah, I expected that, but at the same time, oh wait.
It's on you.
Guess it's my turn. Not good enough. Oh yeah! Time for some hardcore payback.
Going all out. A barrier? Never seen this support system before.
Thought you were the expert.
So what's your thrilling advantage, genius?
It's my time to shine. Bring it on. About damn time. Hey, ain't that something you want to say to yours too?
Bingo. Focus on that core.
Oh, now he remembers. Don't get me waiting in suspense next time.
Take him down.
This is now.
Oh shit.
Damn it. Need to heal up soon. Watch the tail. You don't want to be hit by that laser.
So, what do we do?
Don't get hit. Take cover behind that debris.
Fuck all this.
Strike now before it fires again.
God has limit.
Hey, it's doing that thing again.
Find cover and hunker down.
Again and again and again.
I love Barrett.
Get in Damn thing showed you how it's done.
Absolutely stunning. Like I love it. I love how the Square Enix games are changing and evolving to where they're like what they look like in game is starting to look like what they look like in the trailers, except maybe a little bit from Kingdom Hearts, like with cinematic changes, but it's still absolutely beautiful. Unreal Engine is love Unreal Engine. It's great. But I can't wait for that. I really can't. And finally, last but not least, we're moving on to Final Fantasy XIV. Now, I have really been getting into Final Fantasy XIV. I love it to death. I finally got to Heaven Sword, the second expansion, and I'm not that far in, but I do know quite a bit of the story up to Shadowbringers. I can't say a whole lot. I am not that person. If you want that kind of person, you should probably look up the channel Work to Game, because they really get down into the trailer. I am just here to look, fangirl, and just hang out. Maybe talk about it a little bit. So here we go.
Well, if it ain't the oldest joke in the book.
Hey, it's
And
over.
when, pray tell, did we last have a dark night? Over 100 bleeding years ago. That's when.
In that chaotic no man's land between realms, time and space warp and blend in unexpected ways. What Urianger saw was the future.
Under the gameplay.
That's how the Sin Eaters came to be. They were once living creatures, or people, that were caught in the path of the flood. Once the change is wrought, there is no going back.
The eternal light of these creatures has confounded us for nigh on 100 years. For each we have put down, another has risen up in its place, born of the self-same ether relinquished by its predecessor.
That's him. That's Vorthree.
Sin Eaters are part of Yulmor's society. But they must be fed with ether. Living ether.
This world is beyond saving. Like those who try to save it. This world has had its fill of heroes. Everything we did, everything we gave, what was it for?
through prayer and sacrifice, the will of the star was made manifest.
I'm sorry, I can only assume I misheard, but it sounded an awful lot like you were implying both Zodiac and Hydaelyn are not gods, but...
They are gods after a fashion, yes. The eldest and most powerful of primals.
Primals! Alright, so... Oh my lord! Alright, that was... So much was revealed there. Hold up. Alright. So, I did watch Work 2 Go's version, and it still takes me back. It still takes me aback. And some of this I did already know, but... Let's move forward. This guy. Alright, he's the first guy that you meet when you hop into Final Fantasy. He's the guy that you talk to on the wagon. Forgot his name. Sorry, dude. But it's nice that they opened up with that guy. Let's move forward a little bit. These are what look to be cave drawings, and this looks to be this looks to be Zodiac, and this looks to be Hydaelyn, as if they were both together once. They both were of the same world. Alright, this is coming from the perspective of somebody who hasn't fully caught up in the game. I just know bits and pieces, not too many spoilers in between, and I only know of, like, catching myself up and answering a few questions as to why they're on a completely different world from the one that they are on. That someone already answered that for me, and so this is coming from somebody who is not caught up. So, from my mind, from my brain. So they look as if that they worked together once, that they were, you know, friends once, friends. Let's move forward a little bit more. This. Now, I know that this world, the first, you, the player, come from the source world. Whereas this is called the first. But the first was flooded. That's why why it's called the flood. It was flooded by nothing but extraordinary light. Nothing but light. Light, light, light. And that's why they never have nighttime. That's what the beginning was talking about, where it was like, when was the last time we had nighttime? 1,000 years, I'd say. And it's just been nothing but light. This, from what I can tell, could be Minfilia. When she was sent to this world to hold back the amount of light that was coming through. And of course, you're the player here that's like moving through time and space itself as you're going from here on. I think these are memories of some kind, because that looks like Protag-kun there. And this is another cave drawing but this is the Sin Eaters. The Sin Eaters are creatures, living being creatures, who were overtaken by the flood of light. They were overtaken by light, and they turned into these completely white beings with wings and everything. So that's what they are. And an important thing about the Sin Eaters is that they can only survive by feeding on ether. And it can't just be some ether, it has to be living ether. And by that, it means human sacrifice. To give a human or living being life, to give a living life to a Sin Eater to feast upon, so that the Sin Eater may survive. But the Sin Eaters are needed, from what I can tell. Across space and time, a voice beckons the warrior of light to also become the warrior of darkness, to bring back darkness, to be the hero, to bring darkness to the world. Because there always needs to be a balance. Light is nice, but too much light can bring you to this scenario. To a land consumed by primordial light, the first. Right. Yes. And this guy here.
That's Vorthree.
Yes, Vorthree. Yes, I didn't forget his name. Vorthree is the guy who basically tells you about the Sin Eaters and whatnot. And how they need living aether to survive. The truth must be known. Yes, the truth must be known that the Sin Eaters prey on living beings. And that is actually, no, we go through a couple things here. Now this looks to be a younger Minfilia, a younger version of herself, and they are both on the same world, I believe, from my knowledge, from what I can tell. And I think they meet up because they look face to face at some point. And a hero harnesses dark and light and dark. And I could hear at some point in the trailer that they're like, we've had enough of heroes. And I know at some point, also near the end, it's like, what was all of it for? Was it even worth it? Everything that's been happening, saving the world, saving light and all that, was it even all worth it? And it's just going through this really dark scenario of creatures feeding on other creatures and saving the world from so much light. Even though light is pure, it can also be destructive. And I know this at some point. I keep seeing this happen. And though people aren't exactly talking about it, I feel that it's kind of important for some reason, because it's the entire, it looks like Earth, and Earth has a spell, and I don't exactly know what it all means, but I just know I'm excited. To shatter the tyranny of light. Here it is. Here's what I was talking about. Young Minfilia meets present Minfilia. Maybe they're in different worlds and they meet? I'm not sure, to be exact. Let's see what this will say. Become the warrior of darkness. You come into this world and you're over here like, hey, in this world I was the warrior of light, but you guys look like you need a little bit of darkness. Hit me up. But I feel one of the most important things to note is that Zodiark and Hydaelyn both used to live in harmony of darkness and light until Zodiark decided that he wanted more power, and so he kind of went a little crazy, and Hydaelyn banished him, or I don't know. Something happened exactly. Again, I'm not caught up with the complete story, but I just know that this guy did a really big bad and went poof, and she's just been trying to balance everything. But of course, everybody's freaking out over the fact that they are gods per se, but they're not. They are only the strongest of primals. And honestly, I kind of knew that that was going to be an outcome or a thing, because all of the gods, to be exact, already went away or were never seen. They already went away. So for them to be a god is like, but at the same time I can see why, because they're all powerful primals. But overall, I'm excited for all of these games. I'm excited for the expansion, even though I'm probably not going to have the money to get it. I still need to catch up completely with Final Fantasy XIV, Final Fantasy VII. I'm definitely getting it, and and Kingdom Hearts 3. So down, so ready. I'm so ready to replay through all of it just to be able to play Roxas and nothing but Roxas. But everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. More videos will be coming out. After this, I will be recording another video because I really need to get back into the recording, getting back in gear, making videos, trying to put more out. I've been so gone. It's been school, and then it's been trying to find a nice quiet atmosphere just to make a video. And I'm doing my best, and I'm so happy that you guys have stayed and been patient with me. But again, everybody, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see all of you guys in the next one.